in practice. So we're going to continue to work with both of these guys. So as you can see, basically, Kevin Stefanski is kind of in a situation here.
4 weeks, the staff is going to tell him, Shedeur's not ready, Shedeur's not ready. My guess is they go 0-4, maybe they go 1-3.
Bringing the Browns right into the center of the NFL universe. Right now, it's Shedeur Sanders, right? I mean, there is just so much content, so much debate.
The battle for Shedeur Sanders' future in Cleveland has exploded into chaos. Kevin Stefanski's quiet campaign to edge Shedeur out has finally hit a wall because Jimmy Haslam just slammed his fist down and made it official. Shedeur stays. After weeks of shady rumors, tense meetings, and whispers in the locker room, the truth is out. The owner himself stepped in to stop the madness. But now, everyone's asking the same question. What does this mean for Stefanski's job? The tension inside the Browns facility is electric, and whatever happens next could reshape the team's future for years to come. Everything blew up after Stefanski's brutal comments in his recent press conference. He didn't even try to hide it. He made it crystal clear that Shedeur Sanders wasn't touching the first team. Stefanski compared the situation to when Joe Flacco was starting, saying Shedeur, even as QB2, wouldn't get any first-team reps. That's wild considering how fragile their depth chart already is. One bad hit and Shedeur could be thrown into action. Yet Stefanski's cold refusal to even prepare him spoke louder than any words ever could. This wasn't football strategy anymore.
Shedeur Sanders would be traded at the deadline. True or false?
Okay, there you go. Right? It is a good question. I would say
it was personal. Stefanski wanted Shedeur out, period. And when veteran reporter Tony Grossi spoke up, he confirmed what everyone had been whispering, that Shedeur Sanders had no place in Stefanski's future plans. Grossi said the young quarterback wasn't seen as reliable and wasn't going to get a real chance to prove himself. That hit the locker room hard. Players started wondering if talent even mattered anymore or if politics had taken over the playbook. By that point, it wasn't just tension, it was open defiance. The writing on the wall said Shedeur's time in Cleveland was done, or at least
really learning by the day, by the week. He's doing a nice job of getting the most out of each and every day and feeling more comfortable with the system. Well, I think as quarterbacks, we don't count the plays, we make the plays count. Whatever plays we get, we are thankful for them, and we just make them count, whether they're against the first-string defense or Baldwin Wallace JVs. Every scrap we get as QBs, we're going to get the most.
It was until Haslam stepped in and changed everything. Now the city's buzzing with one question. Has Stefanski finally gone too far? As the drama deepened, the Browns found themselves drowning in backlash. Fans, analysts, even insiders were questioning what in the world Kevin Stefanski was doing by icing out Shedeur Sanders. Every move he made only added more fuel to the fire, especially his stubborn insistence on letting Dillon run all the first-team reps, while Shedeur stood on the sidelines like a ghost. And the craziest part? Stefanski had already cut ties with 2 experienced quarterbacks, leaving a rookie as the lone backup. One injury to Dillon, and the whole season could collapse.
Period that I do get to watch him throw. He is throwing to the practice squad guys and the backup receivers in the early part of practice. We can see it, and his elite accuracy is always on.
Yet Stefanski still refused to give Shedeur a real chance to show what he could do. It was starting to look like Tony Grossi was right all along, that a trade for Shedeur might be the only way out of this mess. The criticism came fast and loud, and no one hit harder than former NFL star Chad Ochocinco Johnson. He straight up called Stefanski's handling of the situation nonsense. Ochocinco said Stefanski should have done exactly what he did back when Dillon Gabriel was backing up Joe Flacco. Give the kid some reps. He made it clear Shedeur deserved to be tested with the starters, not buried behind politics and pride. Ochocinco didn't sugarcoat it. He said this should have been handled the same way every fair coach handles talent. You give the man a shot, let him prove himself. But instead, the whole thing spiraled until even the Browns quarterback coach, Bill Musgrave, had to jump in publicly. He was forced to defend the team's stance, claiming Dillon was the better quarterback right now. But here's where it gets wild. When reporters pressed him further, Musgrave flipped the tone. He admitted Shedeur was more than ready to take on any challenge. First team, second team, it didn't matter. He praised Shedeur's focus, his discipline, and his fire to compete at the top level. Shedeur's attitude and progress speak for themselves, Musgrave said, and you could tell even he knew the truth. The kid's ready. It's just the coach who isn't. The storm around the Browns just kept getting louder. Every day, more fans, analysts, and insiders started questioning Kevin Stefanski's strange obsession with keeping Shedeur Sanders off the field. People couldn't believe what they were seeing. Stefanski was still riding with Dillon as the only quarterback taking first-team reps while pretending Shedeur didn't even exist. It didn't help that he'd already dumped 2 veteran backups, leaving the team 1 bad tackle away from total disaster. Yet even with all that risk hanging over the season, Stefanski refused to give Shadow a real shot to prove himself. What kind of strategy is that? It was almost like Tony Grossi's prediction was coming true, that a trade might be the only way to save Shadow's career. The backlash was instant, explosive, and impossible to ignore. And no one turned up the heat more than Chad Ochocinco Johnson. He came out swinging, calling Stefanski's entire approach nonsense.
Has been making a ton of progress. He looks really good. I've been saying this over and over again. If you put Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel side by side or one after the other in a 7-on-7 red zone drill, I think
Ochocinco said there was no excuse for it, that Stefanski should have used the same approach he did when Dillon Gabriel backed up Joe Flacco. He reminded everyone that Shadow at least deserved a few first-team reps to show what he could do. Ochocinco was crystal clear. The situation should have been handled like any normal locker room competition. Let the talent speak for itself. Give the man a chance to compete. But things got even crazier when Browns quarterback coach Bill Musgrave was dragged into the fire. He tried to defend Stefanski's setup, claiming Dillon was the better quarterback for now. But reporters weren't buying it. When pressed harder, Musgrave slipped and admitted what everyone already knew. Shedeur Sanders was more than ready for the big stage. He said Shadow's attitude, focus, and drive were elite, and that his growth had been undeniable. Shadow's mindset and progress prove he's built for the moment, Musgrave said, and that statement sent shockwaves through the organization. Even the staff knew it. Shadow's ready, and no amount of coaching politics can hide that anymore. Just when it felt like the tension couldn't get any worse, Jimmy Haslam stormed in and changed everything. The Browns owner wasn't about to let his team spiral out of control. Haslam made it loud and clear. Shedeur Sanders isn't going anywhere. No trades, no backroom deals, no hidden agendas. Reports quickly spread that Haslam had pulled Stefanski aside for a serious one-on-one meeting, where he told him straight up, 3 games aren't nearly enough to crown Dillon Gabriel as the starter. That's right, the boss himself wasn't buying the Dillon's the guy narrative anymore. Haslam went even further, demanding that Shadow stay put and get the respect he deserves. He made it known that he's been watching Shadow's growth closely. The confidence, the poise, the accuracy, and he's not about to let that kind of talent walk out the door. For Haslam, the decision was personal. He saw through the noise, through the politics, and decided to take control before Stefanski could tank another season with stubborn pride. Veteran insider Mary Kay Cabot jumped in too, and she didn't hold back one bit. She's been tracking Shadow's progress all offseason, and in her eyes, the excuses coming from Stefanski and Bill Musgrave don't hold any weight. Cabot said Shadow is clearly the better quarterback after everything she's seen in camp. She's watched every drill, every rep, every throw, and she's convinced it's time for Shadow to lead this team. Cabot praised his pinpoint accuracy, saying it stands out above the entire roster. She talked about his ability to throw from any angle with perfect timing and balance, that rare kind of arm talent you just can't teach. And she didn't stop there. Mary Kay said flat out that Dillon Gabriel simply can't compete with what Shadow brings to the field. She even added that in any 7-on-7 drill, Shadow would easily outshine Dillon. There's no comparison, she said. The message was clear. The locker room may be divided, but the truth isn't. Shedeur Sanders is ready to take over, and now even the owner knows it. Kevin Stefanski just won't quit downplaying Shedeur Sanders' potential, and people are getting fed up. Fans are furious, analysts are calling him out, and even insiders are starting to whisper that this isn't just bad coaching, it's sabotage. Every press conference, every excuse, every snub makes it clearer. There's a deliberate push to bury Shadow's rise before it even begins. But the problem for Stefanski? The public's finally catching on and the narrative's slipping right out of his hands. In the middle of all this chaos, one man is trying to save the team from itself, Jimmy Haslam. The owner's decision to step in and block any trade for Shadow wasn't just business, it was a statement. Haslam clearly sees what everyone else refuses to admit. Shadow's got something special. His accuracy, his arm control, his growth through camp, it all screams franchise quarterback. Haslam's not ready to watch that kind of talent walk out the door just because a coach's ego can't handle the spotlight. By locking Shadow in and making it official that he's staying, Haslam sent a message that shook the entire organization. Talent matters. He's showing that this team is done being run by pride and politics. He wants to build around skill, heart, and the kind of long-term potential that brings real wins, not just excuses. Meanwhile, Stefanski's stubbornness is turning into a ticking time bomb. Every day he refuses to give Shadow a real shot, his own job gets shakier. With respected voices like Chad Ochocinco and Mary Kay Cabot backing Shadow publicly, the tide is turning fast.
Go with the first 2 guys. Well, you traded the first 2 guys that you had. All right, but like giving Dylan Gabriel all the first team reps, like really? We're just looking.
The media's flipping, the fans are uniting, and the locker room's watching closely. Stefanski's loyalty to Dylan Gabriel is starting to look less like strategy and more like pure pride. If he keeps ignoring the obvious, he might not just lose his quarterback, he might lose his job. By now, the walls are closing in on Kevin Stefanski, and everyone can feel it. The tension in Cleveland has gone from whispers to open revolt. Players, fans, and insiders are all watching to see what he'll do next. Every decision he makes is being dissected. Every press conference sounds more defensive than the last, and it's obvious this is a man coaching scared. His refusal to give Shedeur Sanders a fair chance isn't strategy anymore. It's self-preservation, and the deeper he digs in, the worse it looks. People around the league are starting to talk, and not in a good way. Former players are questioning his leadership. Insiders are calling his handling of the situation career suicide, and even local media is done tiptoeing. They're saying what fans already know. Keeping Shedeur sidelined while Dylan Gabriel struggles isn't just stubborn, it's reckless. Every missed opportunity, every stalled drive, it all points back to one thing. The coach's pride is costing Cleveland games. Meanwhile, Shedeur keeps working in silence, showing up early, putting in extra reps, and keeping his focus razor sharp. Reports from camp say his precision is on another level, and teammates have noticed too. Some even said privately that Shedeur's the best thrower on the field right now. That kind of talk spreads fast, and it's making Stefanski's job even harder to defend. Jimmy Haslam's move to protect Shedeur was supposed to calm things down, but instead, it's lit a fire under the whole organization. Everyone's walking on eggshells. One bad game, one ugly loss, and this whole thing could blow up completely. The fans have chosen their side, the media is amplifying every crack, and the locker room's energy has shifted. The only question left is, how long before the Browns front office does what everyone's thinking and finally tells Stefanski the truth no coach wants to hear? It's over. The atmosphere in Cleveland has officially hit a breaking point. You can feel the divide. On one side, the fans and players who believe in Shedeur Sanders, and on the other, a head coach desperately trying to protect his pride. Stefanski's control over the locker room is slipping fast, and insiders are already saying it out loud. He's lost the team. Every week that Shedeur's kept on the sideline, the tension grows thicker and the noise louder. This isn't just a quarterback controversy anymore. It's a full-blown power struggle inside the Browns organization. Rumors are swirling that Jimmy Haslam's patience is wearing thin. Sources close to the team claim he's been sitting in on meetings, keeping tabs on every decision Stefanski makes. That's never a good sign for a coach under fire, and with each passing day, the evidence piles up. Haslam sees Shedeur as the future, while Stefanski's clinging to the past. His outdated mindset, his refusal to adapt, it's turning the Browns into the league's latest drama headline. Even the locker room can't hide it anymore. Players have been spotted showing quiet support for Shedeur, staying after practice to throw roots with him, hyping him up on social media, and some even liking posts calling for him to start. That's how deep this goes. You can feel the shift. It's not just about football anymore, it's about who the team believes in. Reporters covering the Browns say the atmosphere is tense but explosive, like something big is about to snap. And honestly, they might be right. One bad loss, one more excuse from Stefanski, and Haslam could make the kind of move that flips the entire NFL conversation overnight. Because when an owner backs a young quarterback publicly and the coach still resists, there's only one way that story ends. The writing's on the wall, and it's written in bold letters. Shedeur's time is coming, and Stefanski's time is running out. At the end of the day, everything comes down to leadership, and right now, all eyes are on Cleveland's. Jimmy Haslam clearly sees something special in Shedeur Sanders, and if he's right, that belief could change the entire direction of this team. But Kevin Stefanski's refusal to acknowledge that reality, that might just be the move that ends his run as head coach. The pressure's hitting critical levels, and with every passing day, one truth becomes clearer. A massive decision is coming, one that could reshape not just the Browns season, but their entire future. Because this isn't just about who starts on Sunday, it's about who leads the franchise moving forward. Haslam's made his stance known, and it's bold. He's keeping Shedeur in Cleveland no matter what. That says everything. But Stefanski's still fighting the tide, clinging to Dylan Gabriel as if change itself is the enemy. The tension is explosive, the media's circling, and the fan base is split right down the middle. Something's got to give, and soon. So what do you think? Is Jimmy Haslam making the right call by keeping Shedeur Sanders on the roster and standing behind his potential? Do you agree with Mary Kay Cabot and others who say Shedeur's clearly the better choice than Dylan Gabriel? Or do you think Stefanski's loyalty to Gabriel is actually the smarter long-term play, even with the criticism closing in from all sides? Could Stefanski's stubborn refusal to unleash Shedeur cost him his job? Or is there a twist here we're not seeing yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear it all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want more insider updates and behind behind-the-scenes truth bombs about this wild Cleveland saga, and we'll see you on the next one.